All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And I found this article pretty interesting. I wanted to just highlight it briefly, where Bank of America, now you have, as the headline states, 15 state officials warn Bank of America about debanking of Christians. And when you read it, it basically goes into a couple of different so-called Christian ministries whose bank accounts have been, closed, or as it says here, Bank of America's track record of discriminating against these religious ministries, now it's to the point where, these officials are writing to them saying, yo, this is affecting pretty much our customers, our population, because now people are looking at it like, yo, these banks are now starting to, which, whether it's Bank of America or another bank, they're all interconnected anyway. But if they're starting to discriminate against customers based on political views or religious views, that's another step closer towards this agenda. But that's not looking too good. Okay, because the crazy thing about it is, you may say, all right, Bank of America is doing this shit. I'm not banking with them anymore. I'm going to switch to, I don't know, Chase Bank or something like that. And then what happens if Chase Bank starts to do it? What happens if all the banks adopt this way of banking? What that does is, because of how integrated the banking system is in your everyday life, you can't just say we're not going to use banks anymore. So majority of people then conform. And step by step, as these different events and incidents come out, you start to see how the world is leading gradually to that point of what the Apostle John saw in Revelation, the 13th chapter, when he said that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. Okay, because if you don't have the mark, and if you don't worship the image of the beast, well, how do you, what is that based on? Well, it's based on your views, okay, your stance, because the ideologies that are pushed by the system today, if you're not down with it or you don't conform to it, well, as you can see here, this is an example, which this isn't the first, but it's one example of how they can literally just shut down your close your bank account and give you some phony reason, as we're going to read. And I think I did a video months ago on how they did this to some, I forgot who it was, but it was some individual, but based on his views, I think on like either Trump or something like that, they ended up closing his account and gave some arbitrarily vague reasons for it. Anyway, a group of 15 financial officials from 13 states sent a notice to Bank of America raising concerns about the institution's debanking of Christians. We write to express our concerns over Bank of America's troubling track record of politicized debanking. And it's bad when they start to, politics start to make its way into banking. Okay. Bank of America's debanking policies and practices threaten the company's financial health, its reputation with customers, our nation's economy, and the civil liberties of everyday Americans, the officials wrote in an April 18th letter to Bank of America CEO Brian Moynihan. We are especially troubled by Bank of America's track record of discriminating against religious ministries. Notable examples include Memphis-based charity Indigenous Advanced Ministries, the Timothy II Project, and Christian author and speaker Lance Wallnau. In April 2023, Bank of America shut down the account of Indigenous Advanced Ministries, which partners with groups in the African nation of Uganda to provide care and education for orphaned and at-risk children. The bank closed accounts of a Memphis church which donated to the organization. Bank of America provided vague reasons for the closure of these accounts, claiming the organization's activities exceeded the institution's quote unquote risk tolerance and that it no longer wanted to serve its business type. So, I mean, that's pretty interesting. Now, what's also interesting is what I'm about to read here. See if I can find it. Yeah, let me read this part here. It says the financial institution also froze the account of author Mr. Walnu, alleging he was suspected of money laundering. However, the bank failed to provide any evidence supporting such accusations. Where is this? Let's see. This pattern of religious debanking strongly suggests that systemic drivers of religious and political bias may be at work within Bank of America. And like I said, that's a problem, okay, because the banking industry, look, when you look at, for example, these elites, like the Rothschilds and these other rich banking families, you know why they're called banking families? You know, why they're not called military families? Why they're not called, other types? Why banking? Because going back to what Mayor Amschel Bauer said, give me control over a nation's money and I care not who makes the laws. They understood and understand that if you run the money, you run everything. Okay, so banks hold a lot of power, especially the way they've designed it and set it up today, which is really a scam. But also that's why they hold a lot of power. Okay. There was a part in here that I read that I want to see if I can find it again. The letter pointed out that Bank of America's vague terms of service allow them to deny services for political or religious views. For instance, the company's policy says it can refuse services to clients deemed to promote intolerance or hate. Hear that? So this isn't, now keep in mind, right? This isn't like you're on a YouTube platform and they have YouTube guidelines that say you can't promote intolerance or hate, so they strike your channel or they take down your video or something like that. This is your bank. So imagine waking up tomorrow and your bank, account is closed. You get an email or something that says your bank account is closed due to, sorry, but we don't support yada yada or tolerate blah blah blah, based on your view, your political view. Be it whether, however they get that information, or maybe they might not even provide it. They might just send you that letter right there, and now your bank is closed. Imagine that. And it's showing you that it's all going towards an agenda. This policy can be weaponized by the bank against clients who express certain views, which are protected by the First Amendment, the officials wrote. Bank of America funds and partners with anti-free speech organizations like the Human Rights Campaign and the Center for American Progress, while preventing employees from giving to faith-based groups in their employee gift match program. You hear that? Now, here's the thing: when they start to move like this, oftentimes they don't, they're not going to do it all banks at once. They have to test the pulse of the people. So they pick a particular bank and then, they go on with that. Now, the Blue Letter Bible seems to have been acting up since yesterday, showing maybe some of you may have noticed, or hopefully it's not just on my end, but the app and the website looks like maybe something is broken on their back end, so they got to fix it. But nevertheless, okay, fine. It partially loaded. Cool. But anyway, as I'm just going to quote it in Revelation 13th chapter, it says that, and that no man might buy or sell, right, save he that had the mark of the beast, basically. Okay, and when you read it, I think it's in the 15th verse or so, it talks about those that would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Okay, so what they're doing is setting up a system, because you can look at one thing like. So what I'm trying to say is, like, you can see a particular, situation in two ways, right? Which mean the same thing. For example, you can say this person is alive, and then you can also say this person is not dead. It means the same thing. So what they're doing here is sort of like, well, we're not going to tell you that you have to believe this, that, and the third in order for us to allow you our services. But what we will do is say, if you believe in this, that, and that, then we're not going to give you our services. In other words, they're telling you that if you believe in anything other than what we want you to believe or see or what we accept, then bye-bye to your account. So, it may seem like, oh, this is just, Bank of America and some political, but this is how it starts. Okay, this is how it starts. So guess what? This is all part of that agenda. And each day that goes by, they push it more and more and more. And before you know it, you're going to wake up one day to this being a reality. Anyway, with that, I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying and informative to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kudash. And until next time, Shalom.